Hi, I'm director Jake West, and yeah, I've made a few features before this. My first film was a comic book kind of vampire movie called Razorblade Smile, which we got released via Manga Entertainment, which was tied in with the kind of comics. And then I moved up the budget range and I did a movie called Evil Aliens.
This whole area is an abduction hotspot.
We're gonna need a bigger boat.
What? Did you see something?
The last film that I directed was a film called Pumpkinhead Ashes to Ashes, which was the third part in the Pumpkinhead series of films, which starred the actor Lance Henriksen from Aliens and Millennium, who was a wonderful actor, and it was a real treat to work with him.
You're living on borrowed time, bud. Death is forever. What you're doing is gonna cause you pain. Sorrowful pain.
And also got to work with Doug Bradley.
Don't let him get away!
Who played Pinhead in the Hellraiser films, which also Bob Keane, who's going to be doing the effects for this movie, he worked with him and created one of the most iconic sort of horror characters ever. Here we are at Pinewood Studios, and we're in the heart of British filmmaking, really. This studio is home to like the 007 stage and hundreds and thousands of movies that have been made over the year, and it's also home to Bob Keane and Image Effects, who we will be talking to about the makeup effects on Doghouse.
With Doghouse, we want to bring those characters that have been so well thought out by this comic book artist and so well visualised in the script onto the screen and make them iconic characters.
Doghouse came about because I was looking to put a new project together, and I really wanted to do like a film which was more of a comedy, which was a great fun movie and a very British kind of movie. I got together with the comic book writer and artist Dan Schafer, and he's written a number of great comic books, and his stuff is really, really funny. I love his sense of humour, and his comic books include a comic book series called Dog Witch and The Scribbler, Indigo Vertigo. He's got such a great artist, and he visualises his world so well and his characters. And we were throwing around some ideas, and he'd come up with this idea for an idea of a comedy which features a sort of backstory of the battle of the sexes. And also with us today we have Emily Booth, who is a TV presenter and an actress who I was lucky enough to work with on one of my previous films, Evil Aliens.
You know, those farmers really freak me out.
Hi, my name is Emily Booth. I'm a TV presenter and an actress. Bit about RJ and what you liked about playing him.
Well, he's a raccoon, of course.
You always want to be a raccoon, didn't you?
There's a little raccoon in all of us.
I actually worked on Event Horizon, which was a big, huge film shot right here at Pinewood. And that was a fantastic experience. Got to work with Sam Neill and people, so that was brilliant.
And she's going to talk us through about this character, the snipper that I want her to play, and going to be talking to her and Bob and talk about the makeup effects for the film and how we intend to do it. So I hope you enjoy finding a little more about this process. And I think it'll be quite interesting for you if you don't know how this sort of stuff works. And here I am with Bob Keane, who created Image Effects. I believe you've worked on many, many films over the years. You're probably a list longer than the Telephone Directory.
I've got 200 films in 30 years, so it's a lot of movies, yeah.
Star Wars.
Here they come.
Started on Star Wars, did Empire Strikes Back.
The Empire Strikes Back.
Where I was in charge of mechanics for Yoda and things like that.
There is another.
Return of the Jedi.
Then went on to work on this character for Return of the Jedi, which is Jabba, of course. Very rarely do you get to make a 18-foot-long gangster slug, so it was a golden opportunity.
And it's a great character as well, isn't it?
Superb character. Yeah. Absolutely fantastic thing. Took 5 people to operate it. He was wonderful fun to do.
What you do though is, I mean, looking at the work around in this workshop, there's just a small sample of some of the work you've done over the years, and you're very much responsible for creating characters. And how does that process work?
Really, the process of character is starts off with me with the script. I mean, you've got some great designs. I have to say, your designs are really
thank
cool.
you. We've been very keen on creating very kind of iconic British sort of
Well,
style female characters,
yeah,
which we think,
totally.
because we think that that's unique and hasn't been done as
Yeah.
well. And then to hand it over to somebody like yourself, you then get people involved who start sculpting and taking those drawings and making them work in, like real 3D
Sure.
thing. And I've always been in awe of that, the level of the artistry of the guys that you use and the patience that you have.
Totally. I think the great thing about this is you've already got such a great start. With the drawings you've got, I think I see 30, 40 scripts a month, and your one sticks out a long way above those. But also it's got these iconic characters attached to it, which are really British. And it's, I'm British, here we are in Britain. It's good to be making films about Britain. It sort of reminds me of Dog Soldiers and those kind of pictures.
Which you also worked on.
Which I did. They are British classics, and this will become a British classic as well.
Traditionally, I mean, in England, we always used to make great escapist films, from the Ealing comedies of yesteryear, which then have given way to films like Shaun of the Dead and Dog Soldiers. These films are the inheritors, I think, of that feeling where you have great character actors and stuff working, and this is, to me, this is an update of those kind of movies.
Do you ever think that modern life is not for you? Do you do the same dead-end job every day? Is your love life dying on its feet?
To a wonderful mum.
Have you ever felt that you're turning into
the end of the world.
a zombie? Maybe you're not alone.
Piss it.
Shaun of the Dead.
And I'm playing a character called the Snipper. It's such a small town. Everybody knew this hairdresser. They loved her. They trusted her with their hairdos. Unfortunately, she gets affected by this government experiment. She's a very powerful woman. And the good thing is, even though she's a hairdresser, she has a huge amount of strength. This experiment has given her more physical strength than any man. Well, she's not alone. There's a lot of other sort of iconic British female characters in this film. Women that people have sort of grown up with, I suppose, like the local waitress, the local sort of huntswoman, the local traffic warden. There's a little old granny in her Zimmer frame, which apparently, as she gets extra strength throughout the film, the Zimmer frame gets faster and faster. So beware, these little old ladies.
There's a dentist, there's a girl from the local supermarket, there's a girl who works at the fast food shop,
and there's a lollipop lady
and
as
a lollipop
well.
lady. She's got the lollipop sign.
She
Yeah,
uses
the
her lollipop against them.
So to get these designs and to get Bob to bring them to life is going to be just a magical experience.
So will the characters in this film be really horrific?
No, I don't think so. I think this is much more about caricatures, and much more about the Britishness of it. This is much more like Harry Potter or Dog Soldiers or Shaun of the Dead.
They're scary characters, but they really are there to exacerbate the comedy, which is the conflict that you have between the women and the men, which to me is the hook of this film.
It's got those sort of humorous element to it. I think we're not playing this for the horror. We're playing this to get the characters and get it right and get the laughs right.
Both men and women are really going to enjoy this movie because I think it taps into a universal theme, and I think that whether you're a couple or if you've been married for years, there's always everyone's experienced that kind of conflict with their partners. And in the film, all these guys have been arguing with their girlfriends or their wives, and one of them has been divorced, so they're just trying to get away from it all. And then they get into an even worse situation with a bunch of other women, which it becomes really, really funny.
So Bob, how are you going to turn me into from normal TV presenter and actress to monstrous female?
Well, it's going to be hard work. It's going to be very hard work. First thing we have to do is take a life cast of you. Okay, so we need a reference. So what we do is we build up the back of your head. Okay, and that's a solid. So we do that with plaster bandage. Yeah. Once we have the cast, we can then sculpt onto that. We can do things like give you accentuate underneath of your eyes, accentuate your forehead slightly to raise it, maybe accentuate your teeth. So there's some teeth stuff going on. But I think your eyes are really going to be important. The eyes are sort of the windows to the souls. So you want it to really have really great lenses. So we'll probably get a specialist who will actually work off a design that we come up with and actually give you some fantastic looking eyes.
And I wore contact lenses for Evil Aliens. I think they were just the yellow ones, and they're like cat-like lenses.
Right, yes, cat lenses.
And once I got used to them, they were fantastic, because as I say, it's a very small, in terms of a lot of having your whole body redone, it's quite a small detail, but it made all the difference.
Totally. Then you put the eyes in, everybody goes, whoa!
Well, I'm looking very much forward to you doing your magic on me.
So am I.
Well, thank you very much for joining us today. It's been really great meeting with Bob and Emily and talking you guys through this process of how we want to make Doghouse. And we look forward to progressing this and making a great British movie for you. Thank you.